Hello, dear students of class 10. Today, I sit here to narrate a beautiful story from your text, Footprints Without Feet. This is your last lesson from term 2. So please stay with me while I do the narration for you. Bholi is a work by Khwaja Ahmad Abbas. He was an Indian film director, screenwriter, novelist, and a journalist. He did his works in Hindi, Urdu, and English. Khwaja Ahmad was born on 7 June 1914 and he died on 1 June 1987. This story is set in a typical Indian village with a typical conservative mentality. It talks about issues relating to women. Women, according to a conservative mind, is nothing but a beast of burden. We are aware of the fact that the minute a baby is born, the first thing that comes to our mind is it a boy or a girl? Conservative households prefer women to stay home, work in kitchen, and find it useless to send her to school. Hence, the story we are going to read today is also set in somewhat a typical village where women or girl child is not treated at an equal footing like that of a boy. It gets more evil if the girl concerned looks ugly and has some physical deformity. This story revolves around a young child named Suleika. She was the fourth daughter and the youngest among the 7 children. It so happened that when she was 10 months old, she had fallen off the cot and hurt her head, which damaged a part of her brain. This resulted in her being a bit slow, and hence she was nicknamed Bholi, a simpleton. At birth, she was a fair and pretty child, but at the age of 2, she had an attack of smallpox that left her face and entire body disfigured since she developed black pockmarks. Only her eyes were saved. She could not speak till she was 5 and she stammered when she finally did. Hence, because of her looks and her speech defect, she was kind of ostracized or excluded. This left her lonely and more vulnerable. Ramlal, her father, was a Numbedar. Theirs was a prosperous family with a comfortable life. The son studied in the city while the eldest daughter Radha was married. Second daughter Mangla's wedding had been fixed and it was now the turn of third daughter Champa. Since they were healthy, good-looking girls, it wasn't difficult finding grooms for them. And here was Bholi, who had neither good looks nor intelligence. Bholi was 7 when Mangla got married. In the same year, a primary school for girls was opened in the village and the Tehsildar revenue official suggested that Ramlal set an example to the village by sending his daughter to school. Bholi's mother felt that no one would marry girls if they were sent to school, but Ramlal was not in the position to defy the Tehsildar. They decided to send Bholi since they felt that she would never get married with an ugly face and lack of sense. Also, they felt that they should now let teachers at school worry for her. So, do you think Bholi enjoys the first day at school? Does she find her teacher different from other people? Well, let us see further as to what happens next. So the next day, Ramlal caught Bholi by hand and told her he would take her to school. A few days ago, when Lakshmi, her cow, was taken out, she was sold off, and remembering that incident, she cried and shouted in terror, pulling her hand from her father's grip. Ramlal got angry and called her a fool. Then he asked his wife to change her clothes because he feared teachers and students would think ill of them. Poor Bholi had never had the privilege of wearing new clothes. She used to wear hand-me-downs of her sisters. That day, her mother made her wear one of Champa's old unfitting dress, which was but clean. She was even bathed, and her hair was oiled, which made her believe that she was being taken to a good place, better than her own home. When they reached school, her father left her in the hands of the headmistress, who asked her to sit down in one corner of the class. She did not know what a school was, but seeing girls her age gave her solace, and she hoped to make friends. The colors and the pictures on the wall fascinated her. Her teacher was saying something which she did not understand, and so she kept staring at the wall in awe. Her teacher then approached her and asked her name. Bh, 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 said she, and tears began to flow down her cheeks. She felt helpless and looked down, as she could not bear to stand girls looking and laughing at her. When the bell rang, everyone scurried out of the class except her. She felt so hurt and sobbed continuously. Her teacher approached her again and lovingly asked her for a name. Her teacher's soothing voice touched her soul, and she made an effort again. Bho, 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 she stammered. Well done, the teacher encouraged. Now your full name. Bh, bh, bho, Bholi. At last she said it out, and it gave her a sense of relief, and it was a big achievement for her. Bholi was stunned and remarked, Really? The teacher nodded and said, Yes, it will be easy provided you come to school every day. Bholi nodded, and the teacher asked her to say it loud. Yes, Bholi said it, and she herself was astonished. The teacher then handed her a book full of colorful pictures and words in big black letters. She told her, In 1 month, you will be able to read this book, and I will give you a bigger and a still bigger book. Then no one will laugh at you, and people will listen to you and respect you too. Understand? Now go home and come back early tomorrow. Bholi felt so energized and motivated. She felt as if all the bells in the village temple were ringing, and trees in front of the schoolhouse had blossomed into big red flowers. Her heart was throbbing with a new hope and a new life. As the village progressed, the primary school became a high school. When Bholi was of marriageable age, her father fixed a match with a person named Bishambar, as he had a big shop, house, and a large bank balance. Nearly 50 years old, he also walked with a limp. Not only that, he was a widower and had grown-up children. Bholi was not consulted when this marriage was fixed. The day of her marriage came, and Bishambur arrived with a great bharat. He was pleased with the arrangements, but when Bholi's silken veil was removed, he was shocked to see her pock-marked face. He refused to garland her and said that this marriage would go through only if an additional 5,000 rupees were given to him. Ramlal brought the money. When Bishambar was about to garland her, Bholi flung the garland into the fire. She very clearly told her father that she would not marry this man who was not just an old and lame but also a mean and greedy person. She took a vow never to get married. She decided that she would become a teacher and serve her parents in their old age. Isn't that right, ma'am? Bholi asked a teacher who had all along stood in a corner watching the drama. Yes, Bholi, of course, she replied. And in her smiling eyes was the light of a deep satisfaction that an artist feels when contemplating the completion of her masterpiece. And with this, children, we come to the end of not just this, but the entire lessons for term 2. Now, before you leave, I would want you all to take home with you a message that clearly states that outer beauty attracts, but inner beauty captivates. I would also want you all to understand the power of education. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. I hope you'll remember this. So please take care, stay indoors, and stay safe. Thank you.